All right, for me, one of the most intriguing things about this draft class are these two corners that are 6'4". Last night, third round, they closed it out with Nation Wright from Oregon State. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I knew all along he was going to be a pick, but when they signed Dan Quinn to be defensive coordinator, I knew that he liked tall corners. That was kind of the blueprint he had in Seattle, right? So I started looking at the idea when I was doing draft simulators of the Cowboys taking two, maybe three corners and trying to get one near the bottom, but looking at corners that fit his height requirement. I guess it's not really a requirement. It's just something he likes. Guys that were 6'1" or taller. And Nation Wright was someone that I kept kind of hovering around in the 6th or 7th round area. He's a good player. Now, I don't know if I would have ever expected Dallas to take him in the 3rd round, but just because he gets overdrafted doesn't mean he sucks. This is a kid that started at Oregon State, so you know he's talented. 6'4", he's rangy, lanky. I think he needs to add some, not bulk, but I think he can get a little stronger. But the thing I love about him is he's willing to mix it up. He's a physical corner, and he's not afraid to tackle. And the common theme in this draft class to me, regardless of who you read, whether it's Mel Kiper or Dane Brugler, is that all these guys seem to have a motor. All these guys seem to have high effort, high energy, and they just don't quit. And that's the thing I love about Nation Wright at Oregon State. He just keeps coming. He just keeps coming after you, and he doesn't quit. He's playing hard in the 1st quarter. He's playing hard in the 4th quarter. Willing tackler, loves to stick his head in there, loved to mix it up in the run game. Raw. He's real raw. I can't wait to see him on special teams with that length, blocking punts, blocking kicks maybe. But if the Cowboys hit on that, they got a gem. And then today, they take Israel Mukuamu from South Carolina, J.C. Horn's running mate. So you know the Cowboys were looking at J.C. Horn, breaking down his film, and who catches their eye? But the dude that's lined up opposite of him, Israel Mukuamu, he's 6'4". He's in the 97th percentile in terms of his wingspan. He has like an 81% wingspan. Tall, rangy. I think he's better in his movement. I don't want to say a better athlete, but he seems more fluid. But he's another corner that likes to mix it up in the run game. Willing tackler. Both of these guys love to act like the ball is theirs. Okay? They play it like a receiver. Strong, great in coverage, but they love to stick their nose in there and mix it up in the run game. If they hit on these two guys, we come out of this draft class. We got Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky in the 2nd round. He's one of those corners that was on my radar, was on my board, was on my want list, I guess. If we didn't get a corner in the 1st round, could we get a starter in the 2nd or 3rd? And Kelvin Joseph was one of my guys. Excellent athlete, plays the ball, sticks to the receiver, willing tackler. He's another guy that just keeps coming, just doesn't quit, high motor. So we got 3, I think, really good corners. I'm not saying Kelvin Joseph is a starter day 1, but I think he'll be the starter opposite Trayvon Diggs by season's end. And I feel good about the future with Diggs and Kelvin Joseph. We're still putting the East in lockdown for the next decade with those two. And then we add to that 2 6'4" corners. And I know the odds are against us hitting on both, but if we hit on just one, man, that's a lot of infusion of length and talent and speed and length and energy into that secondary that we need. I know the Cowboys were getting ripped last night for the pick of Wright, and there were players on the board that I would have preferred. But just because the guy gets overdrafted, it doesn't mean that he sucks. He was a starter at Oregon State. They don't just pass those jobs out. And like I said, go watch his film, man, and you'll see this guy sticking to the receivers, tracking the ball. But the thing that stands out to me is the physicality that he plays with. He loves to tackle. Same thing with Mukuamu. He's playing in the SEC, so you know he loves to mix it up. But getting Kelvin Joseph in the 2nd round when we miss out on a corner in the 1st, means that we have secured a starter opposite Diggs for the next decade. We add these two tall drinks of water at 6'4", and this secondary is about to turn the corner, man. This defense from this draft class is about to turn the corner. And what really gets me excited is the addition of Dan Quinn, who built the Legion of Boom in Seattle. And you know he's going to do the job in Dallas. Hands-on. What happened last year is not going to fly. And he's going to address it. He's going to try to fix it. But the thing that makes me the most excited about this draft class versus last year, and I loved last year's draft class, but we didn't get an off season. We didn't get a normal off season, preseason, training camp, mini camp, hands-on, coaches implementing stuff. A normal off season to do normal football stuff. That last year's draft class didn't get that. So really, you have to include them in this year's class. But this year's class should get a normal off season. I cannot wait for the preseason games to see what we got. But like I said, I know that there was probably guys on the board last night that you may have preferred. Give these guys a chance. These guys can play. These guys got talent. They may not have gone in the round that people were saying they should have, but people were saying they were draftable players, and we got them. And these two 6'4" dudes, man, they are football playing dudes, and that's what we need. Go Cowboys, baby!